Hey traders, it's Ryan from leftprivatebanker.com. I'm just going to do a quick recap here for crude oil and the SP 500, just of what I'm seeing, and we'll go from there. So with crude, we see this breakdown obviously last week, and we've just seen another balancing stage coming to the market as value catches up with price. I mean, we're seeing this one time frame in the market still. I mean, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of one time framing down, and we see this weird, or not weird, but we see this large engulfing day, then we see inside day with this compression triangle happening, and then either way we're going to break one way and wipe the stops out, and obviously the path of least resistance is to the downside. So with the expectation of taking the stops out to the downside, and that's exactly what we did today. So we had contract rollover today. I was trading the January contract, and came in this morning, and we already had this imbalance to the sell side on the cards, and so basically I just jumped on board with the order flow, and I just sold the open pretty much, which held for the best part of the rest of the day. I mean, these days could be hard to tackle because obviously we open inside day, so the edge is to trade the extremes, but obviously this is where you have to understand context, and you have to generate a trade thesis and a plan to around what the market's doing and the expectations for the market. So that's just how I looked at the day and what I did. I mean, we did see this. We didn't really see a nice smooth run down. There was a lot of backfilling. Obviously, with the contract rollover, there's a lot of sort of rollover games that happen on crude oil. So there's something else to be aware of. And if any guys track Delta, I mean, obviously Delta was a bit funny today. But like I said, it's just because of the rollover on crude. But so. Again, I mean, let's have a quick look at the higher time frames on crude. I mean, we came in overnight. We see this big spike up higher, back to just some algorithm come in and spiked back to the previous VWAP, and then we continue to see imbalance to the sell side. So with rejection of that previous value area. So the path of least resistance is still to the sell side. And we are still seeing a lot of bearish order flow at the minute. I mean, on the weekly, we touched this support last week, and we're just continuing to one time frame. Even one time framing now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th week of one time framing down on crude. So just still no signs of this bearish trend coming to an end, or even pausing at the minute with a decent pullback in the market. We're just seeing continued selling order flow at the moment. So just obviously some interesting developments pushing forward here, but obviously until we see some change or some market generated information, then again we're just seeing this typical trend in market where we see these balancing stages happen, and then the market becomes imbalanced and breaks down as value catches up. And I've gone through this on the forum, and I will do a better update soon, but it's just what I'm currently seeing in this market. Just going to quickly touch base on the SP 500 and currently what I'm seeing on this market. I mean, this market is just astonishing at the moment. I mean, we're just seeing this major sort of micro bullish cycle. I mean, we came in and we kind of found a high, and we see this two-way trade come back into the market, and we sold all the way back off to the developing value area low, and we see this next bullish sort of bullish cycle come in, and we're currently now making new highs. We put in a new high, contract high again today, and on very, very light volume. I don't even think 1 million contracts got traded today on the SP 500. But I mean, what I'm going to talk about is what I'm currently seeing here. I mean, we're currently seeing a potential top in market. I mean, if we look at the 2008 crash, if I can find it, gone a bit too far. Here we go. So if we look at the 2008 crash, we can see it's looking very, very similar to what we're seeing at the moment. We see this sort of this bullish trend, and then we start to see this topping in the market. We see a pullback to this key level. We see this blow off top, and then all of a sudden we see sort of trend reversal, and we see this new order flow coming to the market. And to me, that's what we're currently looking like at the moment. We've seen this large bullish rally, and we see this sort of top come in, and we see this pull back to this low, and we've seen again this very, very light rally for this and this head putting. So it's almost like a head and shoulder pattern coming into the market. So what we need to do now is see a retracement, we need to see a shoulder, and then potentially we might see a correction in this market. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not predicting stuff, but I mean, it's just what I'm seeing in a minute. It's just major divergence across all time frames. I mean, if we look at we are at some important support here, and you can see we're just making higher highs, and we're making it on lower momentum, and this has been happening across the board in this bit. You can see this channel, and like I said, we are at a very, very important area at the moment here. And I personally, I mean, I can see a lot of people are saying that they're looking at 2100s as a target, and all of this stuff they're looking at. But I mean, I may be wrong, but I just can't personally see it at the minute happening. But I mean, we've got the quantity of has been finished, and we've got some FLMC minutes out tomorrow. And like I said, today we put these highs on very, very light volumes. So I mean, if we look at the volume, I mean, just under 1 million contracts got traded yesterday. Today, 1 million traded yesterday. So into these highs, we're just doing them on very, very, very light volumes. So it's interesting to see this. But I mean, we have seen this sort of one time frame on the weekly. We are still one time framing, and we did see this accumulation balance and this breakout. So maybe this is going to be the Vwap Twap that we're looking for here. But I mean, at the moment, we just keep going higher. So I mean, it's very, very hard to say here. But I mean, if we've sort of put this high in now, and we see this balance come into the market. We see this one time frame in, and we see this balance area for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. And then today we just basically opened on top of it, and we just see this huge move higher on very light volume, like I said. And it was interesting what we saw happen. I mean, all day off the open we see very, very explosive responsive buying, initiative buying. Obviously, anybody who's accumulating shorts here, this is just a stop run. And then we see this sort of this pause in B, and we see like this compression come in. And then we see a seller come into the market. So a seller come in, and they push it down. They broke the one time frame in, so there was potential for two-way trade, rotational market. And then we literally just one time frame the whole rest of the day. I mean, we one time framed up, just kept going up and up and up. We look at the VWAP. We just literally just sat on top of VWAP, just going higher and higher and higher and higher, rotational. This very, very ugly volume distribution, very ugly volume distribution, and again it was on lower momentum. I see selling delta coming in all for the entire day pretty much. When we see these buyers selling, but the sellers seem to be the more aggressive party on the tape. And then all of a sudden we came into the last period. We put this incomplete auction in up here. Into the 2054 area, and then into the close they sold it down aggressively. I mean, heavy selling. I mean, you can see like 13,000 contracts got filled at the bid here, and they just kept selling it. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues to develop here. But just a lot of divergence happening across this market at these highs at the minute, and again, we just have to monitor this very, very closely. I mean, if we look at the value tracking composites that I'm looking at, I mean, we're currently at this stage here, so we see this last sort of balance came in here, and today we just lifted higher. So I mean, with this distribution on the TPOs, I mean, this is looking incomplete. This is looking like we've got more work to be done, and we've broken out of balance here. So maybe we are just going to continue to just rip higher, but again, like I said, I potentially I can't see it happening. But I mean, we are in balance to the buy side, and we could still see this imbalance occur. So we just have to continue to monitor this in a minute. I mean, there's one thing to note is we are seeing new highs put in on very, very light volume. So unless we're going to see a new distribution start from here, and I'm going to continue up to this 2100, I don't know. But like I said, just have to continue to just monitor this, and just keep an eye on all of the macro time frame stuff. Anyway, I'll try and do a bit more of a in-depth update on this on the forum when I grab some time. It's been very busy recently. Anyway, if anyone does have any questions, then just don't hesitate to ask, and trade safely. Take care and goodbye.